In today's lecture, I am going to discuss on the topic climate change and resilience strategies. First of all, we have to know what is climatic change. Climatic change means the long-term shift in temperature and weather patterns over the globe, and which may caused due to natural causes or anthropogenic causes. Several factors of climatic change have been identified by different scientists in different ways. Some of them are here. First of all, the solar constant variation. Solar constant, this is totally natural factor, and the solar constant variation means the variation of radiation of solar energy, incoming solar radiation. And this is very effective to change the climate change the temperature pattern over the Earth's surface. And there are two factors of solar constant variation, which one is variation in solar intensity. That means the variation of radiation of solar intensity, and the Earth's orbital variation. Earth orbital variation, which also influences the pattern of temperature latitudinally. And second and most important factor is the greenhouse effect. We know about the greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbon, which are the greenhouse gases. And globally, there are increasing trend of these gases, and therefore the temperature has an increasing trend over the Earth's surface for the emission of these greenhouse gases. Changes of albedo. This is also the leading factors of climate change. And human induced changes of the surface features. We have made different uh, features over the earth, change the land use pattern. We transform the land from forest to inbuilt area, and therefore the absorption of radiation is increased. And fifth is the human effects on a small scale climate. Human activity is also responsible for climatic change in very local level or regional level. So these are the leading factors of climatic changes. And this graph indicates the emission of greenhouse gases from 1970 to 2010. And there is a alarming change of temperature increase over this period. So this is the matter of great concern. And now we are discussing about the consequences of climate change. So many consequences have been identified over the Earth's surface as the consequences of climate change. Main of them are the increasing average global air temperature, reduction of sea ice area and snow cover area, which have been found in both Arctic and Antarctic region, reduction of land ice area, ice caps, permafrost areas are also reduced due to the consequences of climate change. And the changing pattern of precipitation also have been found in different location, different areas, and some scientists are predicted that the average precipitation will be increased in the 21st century. And some extreme climatic events we have been found also, uh, like heavy rainfall, like tidal surge, like cyclonic activities, tornadoes. These are the example of extreme climatic events, and which are the result or consequences of climate change. Sea level rising also an important factor. Some areas over the Earth's surface, coastal areas mainly, are now vulnerable due to the sea level rising in different areas. The global temperature pattern Since the pre-industrial period, human activities are estimated to have increased Earth's global average temperature by about 1 degree Celsius. The current warming trend is unequivocally the result of human activities since the 1950s and is proceeding at an unprecedented rate over millennia. And this graph indicates the alarming rate of increasing trend, which is counted from 1880 to 2020, where 2000 temperature increase has touched the milestone of 1 degree C increase rate in 2016 and 20 in respect of 1880. And these are the satellite images of Sundarban, and this is up to 2005 and this is 2020. There is also temperature increase has been found. Here the example of Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean of sea surface temperature has been shared. Sea surface temperature has increased at a 0.5 degrees C per decade rate since 1980 in Bay of Bengal. Global observed rate of SST warming between 1970 and 1999 is 0.06 degrees C per decade. The Indian Ocean observed rate is 0.2 degrees C per decade. The increase was unaffected by human intervention and can therefore be attributed to climate change. Rising of sea level also have been found. Global average is 1.7 millimeter per year between 1870 and 2000 and 3.27 millimeter per year between 1993 and 2010. The New Moor Island and South Talpotty Island had vanished due to the rise in the sea level, which is very serious example. And increasing cyclonic activities also have been found over the last 120 years. Severe cyclonic storm over the Bay of Bengal have increased by 26%, intensifying the post-monsoon period. So this is an example also, and this graph also indicates the frequency of cyclonic activities around the Sundarban from 1990 to 2012 has also increased. And now the resilience, which is very essential to reduce the harmful effect of climatic change. The resilience means the capacity of social, economic, and ecosystems to cope with a hazardous events or trend or disturbance. There are 5 capacities has been suggested by different scientists, researchers to build up resilience, which are the threshold capacity, which means the capability to prevent damage by constructing a threshold against environmental variation. Coping capacity, which means the capability of a neighborhood city or country to deal with extreme weather condition and reduce damage. And the third is recovery capacity, means society's capability to bounce back to a state. And fourth is the adaptive capacity, which means the society's capability to anticipate uncertain future developments. And lastly, the transformative capacity, which is to create an enabling environment, strengthen stakeholder capacities, and identify and implement catalyzing intervention to transition proactively to a climate resilient society. And in concluding remarks, we can say the global initiative must be taken to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases, environmental policies to be adopted in global, national, regional to local level, sustainable development programs are to be incorporated, environmental management strategies and resilience strategies are to be incorporated. Thank you all.